The document's purpose is to determine the responsibilities of being a teacher and the ways of being an effective teacher. This study focuses on the teachers being a leader in school or in community. The selection of respondents are only limited since there are lots of teachers in Maya National High School. This research is designed to have a thorough understanding on why the teachers are considered as leaders. Teachers build and deliver a clear vision in the classroom. They are honest and humble for the relationship or a purpose of building a transparent and positive relationships between teachers and students. Teachers make a balanced judgment and rational aims to avoid the feeling of dissatisfaction among students. Teachers are leaders all day. They lead by example in the way they act, speak, and behave. They lead their students through challenging activities and rigorous learning. Then, they take an additional teacher leadership roles inside and outside the classroom. Activities, events, and extracurricular programs are what build positive school culture and often require additional leadership support from teachers. According to Dr. Tiffany Scrugins, who runs the American University School of Education's administrative program, there are a few key leadership qualities vital to success as an educator. The heart of an educator's work is students' learning and well-being, says Dr. Scrugins. They need to be focused, strategic, innovative, and collaborative. These qualities not only help teachers improve learning outcomes, but also help build community, encourage inclusivity, and create a culture of continuous improvement for themselves, their colleagues, and their students. The Teacher Leadership Competencies published by the National Board for Professional Teachers Standards clearly states that teacher leadership is no longer optional. It's part of the job. Teachers have endless opportunities to lead initiatives and programs on and off campus to enhance the educational experiences of their students. Generally, the teacher has the perception that the role of teacher leadership lies on the shoulders of principals or school administrators. The foundation of a school's success is not due to the leader of the teaching being principals or teachers only, but is encouraged by the coordination and collaboration of teachers as teaching leaders, while the principals are the coordinators or administrators. Teachers assume their role as only teachers of students according to the provided syllabus. They are technically sure that the allocated curriculum needs to be spent on a given time frame. Teachers are important change agents in ensuring their schools become effective schools. Pilot defines leadership as a business or action affecting others by informally aiming to achieve the desired goal. Good leadership will always bring positive change to the party. Drath and Paulus say leadership is the process of accepting what others do in common with which people will understand and be committed. D.B. Voice pointed out that the role of teacher leadership is the actions taken by a principal or entrusted parties to promote learning growth among pupils. Therefore, teachers should be careful about teaching and learning, including the learning of their profession as well as the development of the students themselves. Based on some of the above definitions, leadership is an art or process that affects human activities related to their duties and responsibilities. Their involvement is voluntarily and strives toward the effectiveness and achievement of organizational goals. When leadership is discussed from an educational perspective, it is often associated with the role of teacher leadership in school and the classroom. Hook and Vass define the role of classroom teacher leadership as a skill in which the teacher uses a leadership style for his or her own skills and communicates with others. In addition, this skill is an ability to relate what happens every day with two-party intersections or interactions. This skill is also the ability of a teacher to deliver a vision to the students and to convince and influence them. The role of teacher leadership exists in the context of students acquiring information or input. They do not realize they can achieve in every classroom when there is a positive development that directly affects their personality. When a teacher raises a hand during a lesson, all the students in the classroom become silent, as this accepted as a signal and they expect evidence or guidance or an example from a teacher. According to Hook and Vass, the role of effective teacher leadership requires teachers who have the skills to develop the ability to understand and have vision. They need to have effective linkage skills. They need to understand the behavior and desires of their students. They also need to understand the classroom is a system and be able to find solutions and analyze information. In order to produce effective teaching, Finstermacher and Soltis suggest three approaches, namely the executive approach, empathy approach, and the liberal approach. The process of teaching and learning normally occurs in the classroom where pupils follow the teaching, our respondents and the teachers are acting as leaders. Meaningful learning is always associated with the quality of the role of teacher leadership. It can be successful in encouraging, acting as a mentor, and be able to influence pupils to strive to achieve learning objectives. Its implementation can be achieved during teaching and learning process in the classroom by referring to efforts that have been directed towards the achievement of learning outcomes according to the topic being taught. The role of teacher leadership is also associated with people capable of planning, directing, controlling the process of travel, and forming strategies for achieving goals. Therefore, subordinate attitude to drive towards achieving goals. Synonymously, teachers have the perception that the role of teacher leadership lies in the head of the principal or school administrator. According to Blaise, the foundation of a school's success is not due to the teaching leader, principals, or teachers. The foundation of success is driven by coordination and collaboration of teachers and principals. Teachers as teaching leaders, while principals are the coordinators or administrators. Teachers assume that their role is only to teach students according to the provided syllabus. They ensure that the allocated curriculum needs to be spent on a set period of time. Sparks argues that teachers are important change agents in ensuring their schools become effective schools. The general goal of teacher leadership is to add value or to maintain conditions that promote student learning atmosphere. The skill and competence of the teacher leadership role practiced by the school administrator should have the term shared or delegated to the teachers involved in the teaching and learning process. Studies shows that in the process of teacher programs, the role of educators as the role of teacher leadership requires the efficacy of educational techniques and academic excellence that can be implemented in the form of effective strategies. Education is not static and often fluctuating, such as complex education programs. Increased professionalism and specialization of teachers. The introduction of educational technology as a source of teaching and learning, community and parental expectations, and curriculum changes. This will all create new demands that should be taken into account in realizing the role of teacher leadership. The data in this study was collected through narrative literature and research, or interview. The researcher used a literary research or an interview to collect all the important points in the discussion of the particular field. The data analysis on this study is qualitative approach that involves compare and contrast based on the collected information.